Ever lock eyes with someone and feel the room slip sideways? Your stomach flips, the air thickens, and every cell in your body yells, "Oh, there you are. You again?" It feels less like meeting someone new and more like remembering a soul you've known for lifetimes. Then the plot twists. One week you're trading voice notes at 4 a.m., mapping out your future, and the next, they've ghosted harder than Casper. Suddenly, it's Adele on repeat, tissues in the cup holder, and you're deep in a 3 a.m. Google search for soulmate or trauma bond. Classic Tuesday. But hold on. Before you ink their initials on your rib cage or hit the block button for the 10th and final time, let's sort this out. The line between a divinely guided connection and a toxic loop can be razor thin, and both can start with an intense fire. Today, we're unpacking 7 not-so-subtle signs that separate a real twin-flame roller coaster from a glorified car crash. This isn't just about feeling good, it's about profound spiritual growth. Stick around. By the end, you'll have the clarity to know whether you're finally growing wings or just burning out. Sign 1. Instant. Wait. Do I know you? The very first sign of a twin flame connection is a sense of recognition so deep, it feels like a glitch in reality. When you meet them, it's not just love at first sight. It's a soul-level familiarity, as if you're picking up a conversation that started centuries ago. You might have even known this person for years, but a specific moment, a touch, a shared glance, suddenly triggers this profound knowing. Within minutes, you'll find yourself relaxed in a way that usually takes years and 3 shared dogs to achieve. You'll catch yourself saying, "I swear we've met before," even though you're blanking on their surname. Eye contact becomes a medium for silent paragraphs. No small talk required. While a crush gives you butterflies, this feeling is more like an existential earthquake. You can feel that your life is about to change in a way you can't yet comprehend. Your friends might side-eye you when you claim you skipped the awkward getting-to-know-you stage, but you actually did. The connection feels ancient, older than your Spotify playlists. This isn't just about having similar interests. It's the startling feeling of meeting another version of yourself. If that familiarity feels like coming home, you're probably standing on twin flame soil. Sign 2. The magnet that doesn't care about your plans. Sign 2 is the undeniable gravitational pull, equal parts magnetic and maddening. It's an attraction that feels obsessive and borders on compulsion. You decide space is a smart, healthy choice, but the universe seems to have other plans and keeps pressing shuffle. You switch your favorite cafe, and they walk in 2 minutes later. You delete their number, and a "Hey, stranger" message slides in from an old app you forgot you had. You might even bump into them on a vacation halfway across the world. Coincidence? Cute. But after the 10th synchronicity, even your most rational friend starts quoting Mercury retrograde. This irresistible attraction is a hallmark of the twin flame journey. A feeling that you've been brought together by a higher power. But here's the crucial distinction. A healthy magnetic pull invites closeness. It doesn't demand it. It should feel like destiny, not a sentence. If you find yourself consistently ditching your own plans, neglecting your responsibilities, or orbiting them to the point where your own life fades into the background, that's a red flag for codependency. The pull should feel like coming home, not like you're under house arrest. Sign 3. Emotional soap opera, but with purpose. Twin flame love rarely, if ever, stays in the honeymoon suite. Sign 3 is turbulence so intense it would exhaust a Netflix writer. One sunrise, you're naming future kids, and by sunset, you're blocking each other over a misunderstood emoji. The highs are ecstatic, but the lows are just as powerful, leaving you feeling like you're on a constant, unpredictable roller coaster. The fights are Oscar-worthy because they don't just scratch the surface. They karate chop every hidden fear you have. Abandonment, not enoughness, control, and old wounds you thought had healed long ago. This connection acts as a mirror, forcing you to confront the parts of yourself you've tried to ignore. Here's the test that separates growth from toxicity. After the meltdown, do you both limp back to the table with accountability? Do you have conversations that sound like, "I overreacted because your silence triggered my fear of abandonment, and that's something I need to work on"? Or does the exact same fight, with the same script, rerun next Tuesday? If the conflicts lead to genuine self-reflection and a commitment to healing, that's growth. That's the purpose of the turbulence. But if the cycle is just about punishment and reward, leaving you constantly confused and begging for affection, you're not in a twin flame connection. You're in a toxic reboot. Sign 4. Telepathy on airplane mode. This sign is where things start to feel undeniably psychic. You think of them, and your phone buzzes with their name a second later. You wake up from a vivid dream about them spraining their ankle, only to get a morning text that says, "Weirdest thing happened, I rolled my ankle at soccer last night." This is sign 4. Thoughts, moods, and even physical sensations flying back and forth like group chat memes. During periods of separation, you might feel a sudden wave of their 3 a.m. anxiety in your chest, or taste the whiskey they're nursing miles away. It works both ways, too. They'll quote a tweet you almost posted, or bring up a niche topic you were just researching. This isn't just intuition. It's a deep, telepathic channel. You can practically communicate with just a glance. However, it's important to have a reality check. Before you declare every mood swing a psychic transmission, look for the receipts. Confirmation is key. It's the difference between projecting your own feelings and being genuinely tuned into the twin flame Wi-Fi. Sign 5. The runner-chaser polka. One of you sprints for the hills and the other one chase. This is the classic and often most painful sign 5. The runner, overwhelmed by the intensity of the connection, swears they need space. The chaser, terrified of losing the connection, binges self-help podcasts and crafts heartfelt paragraphs that nobody asked for. It's crucial to understand the psychology here. The runner isn't inherently evil. They are running from themselves. The connection has mirrored their deepest fears and unresolved traumas, and their instinct is to flee from that overwhelming reflection. The chaser isn't just being clingy. They are often acting out of their own abandonment wounds, trying to force the growth and control the outcome of the connection. This dynamic is a direct reflection of inner turmoil. The cycle only begins to break when the chaser stops chasing, withdraws their energy, and focuses on their own healing. This creates a void, forcing the runner to confront the silence and ultimately themselves. Healthy cycles see the running and chasing periods shorten over time with more self-awareness from both sides. But if the runner only resurfaces for late-night ego boosts and the chaser treats boundaries like optional suggestions, you're no longer dancing. You're just spinning out in a toxic pattern. Sign 6. The Human Mirror, now with Trauma HD. Your twin flame is a mirror for your soul. And sign 6 is when you realize that mirror is in high definition, reflecting every single part of you, especially the parts you've tried to hide. They don't just show you your flaws. They reflect your unhealed wounds and deepest insecurities. Terrified of rejection? They'll vanish right before your big presentation day. Have control issues? They'll be consistently, maddeningly late. This isn't random spite. It's a divine curriculum designed for your growth. The traits that drive you absolutely crazy in them are often your own disowned traits or shadow aspects being played out right in front of you. It's brutal, but it's incredibly efficient. From a psychological perspective, this can be seen as a form of projection, but spiritually, it's considered a tool for soul evolution. The moment you recognize their behavior as a reflection of something within yourself and take ownership of it, the trigger loses its power. However, if you stay parked in Blameville, refusing to see the reflection and insisting they are the sole problem, then you've entered a fun house, a maze of distorted mirrors with no exit in sight. Sign 7. A team mission bigger than both of you. The final sign is the realization that your connection isn't just about romance. It's about a shared purpose. You stumble upon a "we have to do this" project or mission that feels bigger than both of you. This isn't just a shared hobby. It feels like a divine assignment. Maybe your combined skill sets lead to a mental health podcast that helps people heal. Perhaps your separate businesses spark an idea for a nonprofit that turns urban rooftops into community gardens. It could be anything from raising conscious children to creating art that elevates collective consciousness. This mission is often the underlying reason your souls came together in the first place, and it will keep tugging at both of you, even when you're on a break or in separation. Here's the litmus test. If the entire dream collapses the second one of you ghosts, it was likely just a shared interest wearing a purpose costume. A true twin flame mission has its own spiritual momentum and will call to each of you independently, guiding you back toward a shared path of service. If you're sitting there nodding along, thinking, "Yup, that's my circus, and those are my monkeys," do me a favor and smash that like button. Your click helps the algorithm send this video to someone else who might be crying in a Target parking lot right now. And hey, if you're committed to your spiritual growth, subscribe. Every week, we drop sanity-saving spiritual hacks without the fluff, designed to help you navigate this wild journey. Keeping it transformative, not traumatic. So you've checked off the 7 signs. Great. But that's only half the battle. Now, we need to establish the ground rules to ensure this connection is transformative, not just traumatic. 1. Build emotional safety rails. This means honest, respectful conversations are non-negotiable. Use "I feel" statements instead of accusations. There should be zero tolerance for name-calling, contempt, or stonewalling. A challenging connection is not an excuse for abusive behavior. 2. If the runner-chaser tango destroys your mental health for months on end, phone a therapist. A cosmic connection does not cancel out the need for clinical support. This journey can trigger deep psychological wounds, and a professional can provide the tools you need to heal. 3. Do not evaporate your identity. It's easy to become consumed by this connection, but you must maintain your own life. Keep your friends, nurture your individual goals, and hold on to the hobbies that bring you joy, completely separate from them. A healthy twin flame union is about two whole individuals coming together, not two halves trying to complete each other. 4. Watch for red flags masquerading as spiritual signs. Jealousy is not intensity. Control is not protection. Emotional manipulation is not a divine test. Love bombing followed by ghosting is not a spiritual cycle. It's a toxic pattern. If your nervous system is constantly in fight or flight, it's time to call a serious timeout. Finally, journal the growth. After every fight, every reunion, every separation, write down what you learned. What old wounds surfaced? What boundary did you finally voice? What apology did you genuinely offer? Measurable growth is what keeps this journey sacred and prevents you from getting stuck on a painful loop. So, are they your twin flame? Or are they a detour with a lot of sparkles? Run through the list one more time. Instant, soul-level recognition. A magnetic pull guided by synchronicity. Volcanic feelings that lead to growth. A telepathic group chat for two. The painful dance of the runner and chaser. The brutal honesty of the mirror effect, and a shared mission that transcends the relationship. Then, weigh that against the hard evidence. Is there sustained disrespect, emotional abuse, or stagnation disguised with spiritual glitter? Real twin flame bonds are designed to transmute pain into rocket fuel for your soul's evolution. Toxic ones just leave you with third-degree burns and a story to tell your therapist. Choose growth, always. Protect your peace fiercely. And remember, sometimes the bravest, most divine, and most high-vibrational move you can make is walking away. Drop a comment below. Which sign nailed your situation? Or are you still circling the runway? I read every single one. Until next week, keep your feet on the ground and your soul wide open.